Hello, everyone, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. So today we are chatting with Ainara Aline of Ainara's Bookshelf Instagram fame. If this is your first time hearing about Ainara, you are in for a treat. Hello and welcome, Ainara. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Okay, so let me make sure I have your information right, okay? You're 12 years old and you reside in Hamilton, Ontario, and you're the creator of Ainara's Bookshelf, which you will be sharing with us shortly. Using your public platform, you have spoken at various conferences and symposiums, as well as at Western University. You've been featured on CBC, The National, CTV, and numerous other podcasts. You've also worked with the Festival for Literacy Diversity here in Canada, and you're currently the Telling Tales Literacy Festival Junior Ambassador. Also, as of January 1 this year, you are Hamilton Public Library's first junior librarian in residence. I can't wait to hear more about that one. And finally, you're working on writing 2 children's books yourself, with the hopes of having them published in 2022, but you have already narrated 2 audiobooks. Did I cover everything?
Yes, I think so.
Those are some serious accomplishments. Congratulations to you.
Thank you.
All right. So, Ainara, please tell us, what exactly is Ainara's Bookshelf, and why did you create this Instagram platform?
Okay. So Ainara's Bookshelf is my Instagram account where I share and review books whose main characters are Black, Indigenous, and people of color, written by authors that are Black and Indigenous and people of color. And I started it, in 2020 when COVID hit, because I noticed a lack of representation and diversity in my school library. And I used Instagram as a way to sort of share diverse books that I wish that I had seen. And I review them and recommend them. And I also interview authors on my page and read children's books.
Okay. So why did you choose this particular medium, being books? Why did you choose books as the way to share your message of representation?
Well, I think that I decided to use books because it's what I know best. And it's where I first saw the lack of representation for myself. I first saw that there was no people that looked like me in my own school library.
Okay.
And I think using books also allows me to encourage kids to read more, and I get to promote great books. I get to tell them that, reading isn't just a chore, it's fun, and it can help you in so many ways. So really, I get to share 2 messages that are both very important to me.
Okay, so I guess you've always been an avid reader then? You always had this love for reading? Like, do you remember what age you started reading even?
Well, actually, I have not always been a big reader.
Oh, okay.
But I think I've just liked books, even from a young age. Like when I was a toddler, before I could even actually read the words on the page, I would just make up my own stories based on the pictures. But then there was a period of time where I wouldn't read anything at all. But then I got into Roald Dahl, BFG, Matilda, all those books, and the Dork Diary books. I had loved those so much.
Right.
But then there was a time where I only read graphic novels. So my dad bought me Percy Jackson books. I loved them. The rest is history. Now I read everything: graphic novels, comics, novels, and in every genre.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite genre though? It sounds like your reading interests changed as you grew. Do you have a favorite genre?
Wow, currently for a while now, my favorite genre has been fantasy. I love
Really?
fantasy, especially, in COVID when we're all at home, when we can't really travel and go places. Being able to read a fantasy book and escape into an entirely different reality has
World.
been so fun. So I think,
Okay.
yeah, fantasy.
Yeah. Okay. So, coming back to your representation work, why do you believe that representation is so important today?
I think that good representation is important for me and other kids because it allows us to see ourselves and our culture and heritage in positive ways,
Right.
which allows us to, be more proud of who we are. And it also helps us to believe in ourselves and believe that, you can do anything no matter what you look like or what you believe in.
So this is something that you passionately believe in, I guess, and you just want to share your piece of, interest with the world via your platform. So that's pretty interesting. So you are the Hamilton Public Library's first junior librarian in residence. How did that come about, and how is that experience so far?
Well, the Hamilton Public Library reached out to me after I'd won the 2020 Women Who Rock Awards. And, it was about this awesome idea, and we came together and we came up with the role Junior Librarian in Residence. And it has allowed me to, recommend diverse books for their catalog and just for the library in general, and be a part of so many other fun projects like summer book clubs and Black History Month events. Unfortunately, though, my term as junior librarian is almost over,
Oh,
but
okay.
it has been such an incredible experience, and the people
Mhm.
I've worked with have been so kind. And I'm so honored to have been the first ever junior librarian in residence for the Hamilton Public Library.
Okay. Do you think that that has influenced your career choice in any way about librarianship, or no? Like where are you leaning toward career-wise? This is just by the way,
I don't
because
know.
librarian work is fun work. So
Mhm.
just think about it.
Yeah, I definitely love being in the library, and you know
Yeah,
while my junior librarian term was mostly online, I think that for the next junior librarians to come, it would be really fun to just, really be in the library and in that
yeah.
environment.
So in that role, did you actually get to work with patrons, or, have any type of one-on-one with any visitors to the library, or was it mostly a remote type um, relationship?
Well, we did have lots of, online programs like our summer book club with Michelle Obama. I really enjoyed that because even though it was on Zoom, there were kids and we could talk to each other. We could talk about the books, ask questions, and have fun.
Right.
I was also able to put up a display of some of my favorite books inside the library. So if you went to visit there, then you can see all the books on display. But
Oh,
yeah, I think mostly it's been online, but I still
okay.
have really gotten to connect with people, which I think is really
Yeah,
incredible.
that's fantastic. Okay, so I also see that you work on a project called Diverse Readers, Future Leaders. Can you tell us a bit about that? Like, what is it, how it came about, what's your aim or your goal?
So, Diverse Readers Future Leaders is a program, and the goal of it is to it's to encourage underserved children or children who don't have access to books to sort of create a love of reading for them, to donate books. And it's great because I'll be able to custom tailor the books. So whatever recommendations or whatever they like or into, if they're interested in superheroes, I'll be able to recommend them books based on that. Sort of encourage reading and help them build those age appropriate skills like writing and reading, to sort of develop them to be a young learner and leader.
So do you actually source the books from somewhere, or do you have sponsors for these books? Like how does the actual physical getting the books in their hands, how does that part work?
Well, through my Instagram account, I've made lots of connections with different
Right.
with different publishers like Penguin Random House and HarperCollins. And I've also, with CAS and those type of places. So I think that I've been able to, get books from them, and also from my account, getting people donations so I can, get the books and then give it to them.
Oh, okay. Okay. So there is a practical side to it. It's not just taking their recommendations and saying, here, read this. You've actually been able to get books into the hands of those kids who really need it but don't have access. Before, you had mentioned your 2020 Woman Who Rock. Was it an award? How did that come about? And when was this?
Yeah, so it was, 2020, last year. And my aunt, she's very close to me. She nominated me for the Woman Who Rock Awards.
Oh,
and
okay.
there were so many incredible, talented women, and I was so honored to be beside them, and to have won was incredible. It was a huge honor. I was so
Wow,
lucky. Yeah.
that is impressive. So before we wind down our session with you, reviewing your top 5 picture books for 2021, I am asking if you would care to share about some of your other favorites with us.
Okay.
Yes? Okay, great. So who is your favorite author?
My favorite author, oh geez. Favorite author and favorite books are always so hard because
I know, just in the line of work that you do, but there must have been one that might have influenced you or turned you on to your love for reading, or
well, I think if we're going back, like when I was younger,
right?
I think an author that really sparked my love of reading was Roald Dahl. Reading those books, that definitely impacted my love of reading today. It was great. So I think if we go back, Roald Dahl, I don't know, right now it's too many because I read so many different books. There's so
Right.
many
Yeah.
new authors, right? So it's really hard.
Okay, that's fair. What about your favorite musician? Do you have one?
Well, my
What
favorite
style of
artist,
music?
yeah, music. Well, I love music. My favorite artists are BTS. I love BTS very much. Yeah.
Okay, see, I have no idea who that is, but what about food? What is your favorite food?
Food. Let me think. Food's also hard. I am not a very picky eater, so I would eat
Okay.
pretty much almost everything. So, that one's also really hard. Favorite food.
Yeah.
Well, I love rotis. Even Caribbean food. Just out of all food ever, I love rotis.
Oh,
I love going to
yay,
Barbados.
go
I love chifette.
Caribbean.
I love chifette when I go to Barbados, and I love it when my grandpa or my grandma come from Barbados and they bring rotis and stuff. So yeah, so
Yes,
that's a food that I could eat anytime, any day.
so can I. Roti happens to be a favorite of mine because, yeah, I was going to ask you, apart from like general food, what was your favorite island food or Caribbean food? Because I do understand that your dad is from Barbados.
Yep.
So you must have been indoctrinated into Caribbean food, right? Are there any other Caribbean dishes that he introduced you to? Like
Oh, yes.
pilau. Do you know what pilau is? Or
Mm-hmm.
yes,
Yep.
you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I love Caribbean food. I love food from Barbados. I love it when my grandma cooks Bayesian food.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I think roti is always going to be number one. Roti is always going to be number
Yes. Okay. And that is quite fair because it is also my number one food. And finally, do you have a favorite childhood memory that you want to share with us? Anything you
one.
can think of that
Okay.
it's just your favorite memory of all time, whether it's with your family or through your work or who you met along the way.
Okay.
It doesn't even have to be like a childhood memory, just
Well, I am still in my childhood, so
Well, fair enough.
I think sorry. I don't know if I can pick a favorite because I think that I've had such an incredible childhood so far.
Okay.
But I think a very moment in my life that was really important to me and special was the first time I found out that I was going to be a big sister.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
that was really fun.
Yeah, that's pretty special.
My dad had gotten me a shirt that said awesome daughter promoted to big sister. And at first I was so confused. And then I found out that she was pregnant, and it was a really happy moment for me. And I was
Nice.
really excited.
Oh, family is everything. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you for sharing that little bit of your personal side with us. So now I am going to turn it over to you and ask you to do a review of your top 5 picture book picks for 2021. I will just give me 1 second. I'll give you the screen here. All right. You can go.
Okay, great. Okay, so my top 5 picture books of 2021. Number 1 is Girls for Medicine by Resume Uye. I think this is one of my favorite picture books of all time. It's a beautiful book with gorgeous illustrations that has amazing representation about girls in healthcare. So I really enjoyed this. The author, I interviewed her. She is so nice, and she is also in healthcare. She's a Black girl in healthcare. So I really love this book. And then we have Your Name is a Song by Jamila Tompkins Bigelow. This is a story that I can really relate to because my name is kind of different. I've never met another Ainara, and it's about the beauty of different and unique names. So I really love this one. And then we have Eyes That Kiss in the Corners by Joanna Ho. This is a children's book with great Asian representation that speaks about loving your features and, specifically your eyes. And this one is also so beautiful. Joanna Ho is another author that I've interviewed, and she's also very nice. And then we have I Am Smart, I Am Blessed, I Can Do Anything by Alyssa Holder and Zuleka Holder Young. I really love this one. I've read this to kindergarteners in my school, and this is one of their favorite books. They love it so much. The main character is actually based off of a real person. It's a little boy named Ion, and it's about this affirmation that he has. I'm smart, I am blessed, I can do anything. This is a really sweet book. And last but certainly not least, we have Hold That Thought by Bree Galbraith. Bree Galbraith is such an awesome author. She has a early readers chapter book that I love called Wednesday Wilson. And this book is just as incredible. It's about having big ideas and not allowing others to put them down or put them away, and allowing your ideas to grow. This art in this book is also really beautiful. And yeah, so those are my top 5 picks of 2021.
All right. Thank you. We will try to ensure that all these books, we get them into the library so that anyone who wants to, check them out and see what they're about will have access to them. So Ainara, you use your voice to do representation. We'll talk about diversity and all that via your page and through children's literature. Do you have any type of advice for any young person who would, like to use their voice for that kind of good, but they are unsure of how to do so in an effective way? So your medium is through books and literature, but for anyone out there, like generally, what do you say to anyone who wants to use their voice in that way?
Well, I think that if you are, confident enough, and you're, I think that, let's see, if you're passionate enough, there we go, that's the word I was looking for. If you're passionate enough about a subject or something that you really want to talk about and share, then I think that you should go for it. And I used books because, like I said, that's what I know best. That's something that I connect to and relate to. So I think that you should go with what you know. Don't try to do something that you don't understand fully and use that as your whole platform. Use something you know that you can trust, and also just share your voice. Do what you want to do. It doesn't matter how many people hear it. It just matters that you're saying it and that it's out there.
Yeah, and that could even mean just speaking up when you see an injustice or anything like that. Yep. All right, and there you have it. So we've come to the end of our talk today. Thanks again for joining us, Ainara, sharing of your time, your expertise, allowing us to get to know you a little bit, and of your love for Caribbean food and all that. So I hope that everyone who tunes in to watch our little segment, that they would have heard or learned something that would positively impact them going forward, and that they would use their voice to make one little change in their own world. So thank you. I wish you all the best in your future pursuits. And I think that's it for us. Do you have any closing words or anything that you want to end our session with?
I just want to say thank you so much for having me. This
You're
has
welcome.
been such a fun chat, and I'm so honored that I could share my message here with you, with the London Public Library.
Okay, well, thank you. And thank you, everyone, and see you soon.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.